What's up, Coco the Snake? Just doing some cleaning and showing some geckos. Get to see you guys. If you got any questions, just let me know. These are leopard geckos. Ooh, I need to turn on the other light. Hopefully that helps a little bit right there. So I'm just going to be, this is going to be a clean stream. Meaning I'll be cleaning and then also just answering any questions that you guys might have or showing off the geckos as you guys have desire to see them. So good to see you guys here. These are leopard geckos. They're my favorite kind of reptile, even though I love all reptiles, especially the big bad like dinosaur kinds. But I feel like these guys are like little dinosaurs. They're literally like little dinosaurs. So you could go to geekygeckocreations.com and you can see these little dinosaurs in action. They're pretty cool. Our YouTube channel has a ton of videos on all the different colors that they have and all of that kind of good stuff. So feel free to check us out on YouTube. That's kind of like our #1 platform because I always like to make long form content around the geckos. And they do just eat worms. So like this is literally their food. I'm cleaning and feeding them right now. You have one that's 5 years old. That's awesome. Yeah, they are a pretty long-lived species, you know? I mean, we're talking 15, 20 years as an average. And a lot of them will get, can get longer than that, too. So if you go to geekygeckocreations.com, you can see what is currently available. And then we're constantly updating the website. So like right now, I think we have like 30 available geckos on the website. But that's because we've been building racks and all that kind of stuff. So let me take this one out because I'm cleaning different geckos tubs here. So I can show you real quick. Let's see. So these are the rack systems that we've been building. And because we're building these rack systems, it's taking a lot of time. So I haven't had too much time to like update the website with new stuff, but we definitely have a lot of new stuff. The tails rarely come off. There's a nice way you could hold them by the base of the tail, let them do a handstand, and that's the way that we check for like whether they're male or female. It's the way that we check for ovulation. When a female gets ready to breed, that's how we check. What's the best way to get a gecko comfortable with you? I would just say open-handed handling. How many cookies for a gecko? We're not doing any like cookie type stuff right now, but we probably will in the future. But you could go to geekygeckocreations.com and see what we have there. So by handling them with open hands like that, that's the best way to train them. They will get used to you fairly quickly. Sometimes when we're vending shows and stuff like that, we'll have a couple geckos that are a little bit more rowdy. This is an Inferno tangerine, which is a type of tangerine gecko. They'll be a little rowdy at like the beginning of the show. But then by the next day or by the end of the show, they'll be a pretty calm animal. Because leopard geckos are pretty domesticated, and they tame down pretty easily, as a general rule of thumb. Hello, hello. Good to have you guys here. If you don't follow us on YouTube, that's kind of like our primary thing. We might do like a Patreon type thing soon. If you want to check us out at geekygeckocreations.com, we have some pretty amazing stuff on our website. Alright, we're going to do the trade, because as one gecko gets cleaned, the other gecko gets put away. How can you tell male and female? Actually, I'm not going to come across any males in this video, but right at the base of their tail, there will be like black V-shaped pores for male. And males will also have big bulges. And females won't have them they won't have them as prominent like the males do. She needs to settle in. Yours is the same way. Yeah, some people think that the way they're going to tame their gecko is by not touching it, by not handling it. And that works to a certain degree. Because as geckos get older, they just tend to calm down naturally. But if you want to calm yours down, like within the first couple weeks, or even the first couple months, you have to work with that gecko. You have to be holding the gecko. You have to be picking up the gecko. If you're not desensitizing the gecko to your touch and getting the gecko used to your touch, then the gecko will not get used to your touch and will just stay like anxious until the gecko ages out. Usually most geckos kind of grow out of that anxious phase. Oh, this one's pretty cool. Check this out. The color. The color's not so. The color's a little difficult to see, but it's a nice one. Yours bit you? Yeah, sometimes they can bite, especially if they're not like super trained. So you do want to be careful with that. But I would say, as a general rule of thumb, they do not bite. They have the cutest little faces, and they do this thing where they give you a little lick. Let's see if I could get him to do the lick. Yeah, you couldn't see that, but he gave... Oh, there. See? You can see he gave me a little lick on my finger. I call those gecko kisses. They do that about every 15 to 20 seconds. Yeah, it is kind of like grapefruit color, huh? I will subscribe to your YouTube. My YouTube is Edna Rico Network. Cool, I'll have to see what you do, Edna. My wife just got some glasses that made her look like Edna from the cartoon series. So I was just joking with her about that right now. What a cutie. I breed Cresties, but might be looking for a handsome male Leo. Yeah, we got a ton of Leos. If you go to geekygeckocreations.com, we have great geckos for great prices. And then you also get my customer service for life. So I'm here to help you with care, breeding, questions, concerns, anything like that. For the entire life of the gecko, or as long as you need. I just love geckos. I do geckos full time. We work with other species as well, like tegus and ball pythons and sailfin dragons. And if you look at our content, you'll see that. But leopard geckos is kind of like our #1 thing. It's personally my favorite species to work with as well. So that's geekygeckocreations.com if you want to check that out. We probably have like 30 or 40 geckos available on there right now. Most of them are like black knight crosses, but we're about to get a whole new variety of stuff that we've been growing up over the last couple weeks. That should be ready. I would say 10 to 20 gallon enclosure for these guys. Now you could go higher if you like. You could go with a lot of people use 40 gallons. Amazon actually just started selling this really cool cage called the New Age Pet. Check it out. It's called the New Age Pet Cage, and they have a like 40 gallon version and they have a 15 gallon version. It's truly amazing. It's really cool what they're doing with that. Alright, now this one is like a different color and contrast. You see that? So pretty cool. So these are actually, what I'm cleaning right now is girls that were supposed to be breeding. This is a pure fasciolatus, which actually looks like a max snow, but it is not a max snow. So when you go to our website, we have this project called the Mr. Freeze Project. And the Mr. Freeze Project makes it so that those lavenders and stuff stay way into adulthood, and it also makes it so that the yellows on the animal are not so yellow at all. If any, like, having no yellow is the goal of the Mr. Freeze Project. So that's, we just started breeding a bunch of Mr. Freeze Project animals right now. So the beginning of that season is starting. Lord willing, we will have dozens and dozens of those available in the next couple months. We ship anywhere in the United States for $44.99. Overnight shipping. We guarantee live arrival. We guarantee the health of the animal. And I'm here in case you run into any questions or foreseeable problems. I'm here to help you through those problems and make sure your animal is okay for life. I mean, geckos is my full-time thing, and I have the ability to work with people every single day if I need to, so it's pretty cool. Here's another tangerine. How long does it take them to reach full size? I would say they get really close to full size at around 6 months if they're feeding and eating regularly. But they actually don't fill out like their full musculature and fat ratios don't fill out until about 1.5 years, 2 years old. I would say is like when they truly max out. Yeah, of course. And if you guys haven't been to our YouTube channel yet, I highly encourage that. That is like our #1 platform. But TikTok is something that I've been putting a lot more work into recently, like over the last few months. And it's something that I want to continue to build. And we have a lot of friends on TikTok that do reptiles as well. So hopefully we'll do some collaborations in the future and just make it a fun area for people who love reptiles or people who are new to reptiles to hang out and do their thing. Are they okay to be alone? Yeah, so that's a good question that a lot of people actually have. Should you house them alone? And the answer is 100% yes, if you can. And, now, you can house females in groups, but if you house a male with a female, the male will constantly try to breed with the female, and that will stress them out. Potentially, I'm talking in generalities here, but there's a higher likelihood that that would happen, and it might not happen right away. But it might be something that happens like later on down the line. And then if you house two males together, I would say most males would pretty much fight to the death. They injure each other really bad. And then if you house females together, they tend to do okay. I say like 95% of females get along. But there have been cases where, you know, females will get along and then in a couple years, they won't get along. Have you ever had one drop their tail? Yes, it's our most viral video out there. It has over 100 million views. It was the #1 leopard gecko video of all time. Look it up. Black Knight leopard gecko tail drop. It's on YouTube, it's on Instagram. These ones were actually breeding, so these ones are not for sale. And it's on TikTok. Black Knight leopard gecko tail drop. On YouTube, it has like 50 million views on YouTube, and then TikTok and Instagram, it has a ton as well. But then we were overtaken by, I don't know if you guys saw that leopard gecko video where the guy was pulling out mucus out of the eye of the leopard gecko, and that one actually superseded us. I think that one went to like 100 million views or something. So now we no longer have the most viewed leopard gecko video on the internet. But we may, one day, catch up to that again. Are male and females able to live in a tank together? The short answer is yes. The long answer is some males and females won't get along, or they'll put up with each other for a certain period of time. But at the end of the day, there's always a higher chance that the males and females will stress each other out and kind of annoy each other. The male will constantly try to breed with the female, and that could cause for a lot of fighting between them. So, hope that answers your question. Now, in the wild, they actually live together in like groups in the wild of one male to like a few females. But this is not the wild. This is captivity, and so we kind of have to do what we know is best for them in captivity. This is actually a pure wild type. So this one would be found in like Turkmenistan and stuff like that. It's called a Turkmenicus leopard gecko. And this is a Macularis leopard gecko. So they're technically different localities, but they're pretty much the same thing. And people like interbreed them. And it's technically not hybridization because of how related they are. And yes, we do breed them. So you could go to geekygeckocreations.com and you can see all the pretty leopard geckos that we have. And we're probably one of the #1 producers of quality geckos for quality price in the United States. And so we're constantly adding new geckos to the website. I've been a little bit busy lately because we've been building new cages for all of our geckos and stuff. So that has taken up a lot of time. But over the next couple days, I have been telling people that I'm going to be hopefully adding some new geckos to the website over the next few days. So if you keep an eye out for that. My phone number and email is also on my website. And you can feel free to reach out to me with questions or anything like that, inquiries. I'm always happy to help people, like truly. Truly, truly, truly. Like Jesus said, truly I tell you. This one's cool. This is a 50% black knight, but look how dark it is. For a 50%, that animal is pretty dark. How do you get them comfortable with you? We actually have a number of videos on YouTube about how to train your leopard geckos. We have three videos on how to handle your leopard gecko and train them. It's very easy. I'll show you an example right now. And this one is actually a good one to show you on because this one's a little more active. So as the gecko walks on your hand and stuff, just let it walk from hand to hand. I call this open-handed handling. And then once the gecko's comfortable with you, touch them on the tip of the mouth and they will give you a little kiss. You probably couldn't see that, but she gave me a little lick, which is a little gecko kiss. It's pretty cool. Leopard geckos are certainly my favorite species. I do have one crested gecko, and I have bred crested geckos before, and I currently do and have some breeder gargoyle geckos right now, but I am not too much into breeding gargoyles right now. A matter of fact, I might sell my entire gargoyle collection just because I love leopard geckos so much and want to focus on putting all my time and energy into that. So if you head over to our YouTube page, Geeky Gecko Creations, you'll see that we're really into leopard geckos, but we do work with a few other species that we have. Sailfin dragons, bearded dragon. Oh, this one's making a getaway here. And Tegus, it's just about to become Tegus season. Tegus are one of the coolest species because I really like cool reptiles. Here's another. This isn't the same one. This is another 50% black knight one. Show the one you love the most. This one has been one that I've really been liking a lot lately. This is our koi project, and it is just remarkable. And we're going to be shooting to make a lot more of these this year. And let's see if we could show the eyes. See, leopard geckos are just really cute. Very pretty, right? See the little lick? Watch this. Watch this. 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait. 3, 2, 1. She just licked, or he just licked a second ago, so I got to give him a second. Oh, he was winking his other eye. 3, 2, 1. He's like, I will not oh, you saw the lick right there? They lick. He's looking into the light right now, too, so it's probably bothering him a little bit. Because of the camera angle is a little awkward. 3, 2, 1. Nah, he doesn't want to lick right now, but I promise you, leopard geckos lick. Like every 15 seconds. It's crazy. They lick everything. Yeah, that was cute, huh? So, if we make a Patreon soon, what do you guys think that we should put on our Patreon? Like free merch, giveaways, and would you join our Patreon for $5 a month? I think it's a cool way to like develop a like leopard gecko family. So we will probably be doing a Patreon soon. I've dabbled in it here and there, but never had truly the time to like really put into it. Yeah, I could show a baby. Just give me a sec. So this is a little bit of an older baby, but it's still a baby. Beautiful, beautiful orange tail right there. Beautiful, cute little face right there. You can see it's breathing. You see how it's breathing? Yeah, we're just cleaning geckos right now. This one will probably actually be for sale soon. And most of our tangerines are really well behaved, as you can see. Let's see if we could do the licking thing. This would actually be called a juvenile, not quite a baby. We will do nights where I do have babies like readily available. But right now I guess I could grab a baby. Alright, you wanted a baby. I guess you got an uber baby here. You can see this one has a little bit of a short tail. This is a black knight. So like super high end. But because it is a little bit more of a like closer genetically bred animal, you will get some like minor defects from time to time, like that little short tail. But this one is very little. Very small. And some black knights are actually born a little bit smaller than average. I'm trying to show you his face, but he's so small, trying to handle him carefully here. Little tiny thing. So we do have some black knights and 50% black knights up on the website right now. This is actually a 50% black knight right here. So if you breed 100% black knight to this thing, you should be able to get stuff like this. So I wish I had thought to turn my heater off before I got on the live, because we keep our reptile rooms a little bit warmer for the comfort and convenience of the animals. What size tank would you recommend? So you could get anywhere from a 10-gallon to a 40-gallon. And if you go on Amazon actually has some really cool tanks that they're selling for leopard geckos and reptiles right now. That's called New Age Pet. Check them out. They're really cool. Oh, here's a Max Snow 100% Black Knight. So you could house two females together, sure. But what I like to say is 95% of females get along. But there is 5% of females that don't get along. And I would say sometimes there have been cases where females get along for a little while, and then after a couple years, they start fighting with each other. No, a 10-gallon is okay, but obviously everyone has their different preferences. So I like to open up people to the possibilities. So yeah. So a lot of people would say a 10-gallon is too small, but in all honesty, I'm being 100% honest with you guys, it is not too small. And most leopard gecko breeders, almost every leopard gecko breeder, breeds them and keeps them in something that would be similar to like a 3 to 5 gallon size enclosure. So, can you keep them in a 10 gallon? Sure. That's no problem whatsoever. Should you keep them in a 10 gallon? That's a little bit more up to like somebody's preference. I would say it's pretty common to see leopard geckos in 10 gallon tanks all the way up to 40 gallon tanks. Those are pretty common. Would you recommend for yeah, leopard geckos make the best, quote me here, the best beginner reptile pet ever. They're very friendly, they're very tameable, they're very cute. They're also extremely hardy to where if you leave on vacation or something for a couple weeks, you do not need to worry about them needing food or water because they have this chunky tail, and that chunky tail holds enough resources for them to last for very long periods of time without food or water. So they're very kid friendly, very vacation friendly, and in that sense, very family friendly. And they're also extremely handleable. And they come in lots of different colors and all that kind of stuff. So, very cool. This is another pure black knight here. If you want to have a reptile, you should always do research. Yeah, do research and see what different styles of care that people use, and then you could find the style that works for you. Because everyone's going to choose something a little bit different, but it technically all works, right? Black Knight with lilac. You mean like lilac, like a lavender color? Yeah, we are working on some like Black Knight lavender type stuff. It's just tough because usually the black genetics will override the lavender genetics. So you just have to kind of like line breed them and pull the animals over time that show the characteristics that you want. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. When they're younger, those lavenders are really expressive when the Black Knights are younger, but then as they age, that tends to go away a little bit, you know, to a certain degree. So, this one is actually a Black Knight, and we are pretty well known for working with the Black Knight genetic. We're probably at this point right now the largest Black Knight breeder in the United States, and we have lots of really cool projects and side projects coming out for these guys. I'm going to run outside real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So temperature for leopard geckos is usually like a 90-degree hot spot, and then a humid hide, which for breeders, we use these as humid hides. See, there's wet soil in there. But if you're a keeper, oh, this one's in shed, but is absolutely stunning. You can't see it quite right now, but this one has some really nice like red stripes going down the body and whatnot. It's in shed though. So yeah, they don't need humidity in their entire cage. They just need humidity in one area. So we give them what's called a humid hide, and they go into that hide and they shed their skin like this. And you most likely will never even see that happen. They usually shed overnight while you're sleeping, and by the time you wake up the next morning, they're already shed out. So, pretty cool. What do you recommend to get your gecko to used to being held? So I call it open-handed handling. We have a series of this on our YouTube channel. You could look it up. Geeky Gecko Creations, how to handle your leopard gecko. We have three videos on it. And you basically hold your hands open like this and let the gecko crawl from hand to hand. We also have a series on how to, or a video on how to pick up your leopard gecko, because that concerns a lot of people. So how to pick up your leopard gecko, how to handle your leopard gecko. We have 3 videos on both of those topics. Do they need UVB? No, they don't need it, but it is beneficial to give to every reptile, if you're able, UVB. But they eat this powder called calcium with D3, and that sort of replicates the UVB for them in captivity so that they don't need it technically. But again, if you want to do the absolute best that you can for your animal, simulating nature and giving them UVB, I think would be awesome. The gecko is sniffling. This one's pretty nice. Pretty nice tangerine. Why do you grab them by the tail? I mean, it's a little bit... If you are well trained in leopard geckos, it's very, very common for people to, you know, gently hold their geckos by the tail. If you know the right way to do it, it's very, very common. So, if you're new to it, I would not necessarily recommend it to people if they're new to it, but leopard geckos have been domesticated in captivity for so long that they really don't drop their tails. It's actually extremely rare for leopard geckos to drop their tails, especially if somebody has a lot of experience with leopard geckos. So like we've had thousands of leopard geckos over the last couple of years. So normally the reason is if they're a little bit out of reach, or if you need to check if they're male or female, or if you need to check for ovulation. But it doesn't hurt them in any way or stress them out or anything like that. So it's definitely a safe way to go about doing things, especially if you know what you're doing. But the only way to get to know what you're doing is actually to do it, right? To practice. So we have videos on, like when somebody is ready, we have videos on how to hold them by the tail, the proper way to hold them by the tail, all that kind of stuff. Because there is a proper way to do it, so. I wish I could ask them, but unfortunately we don't speak each other's language. But I mean, you could read the body language and signs of a gecko. So like this, you can see that this gecko is actually very calm, like very chill right now. This one's gonna go back. What do you call it? What do you do if they're wall surfing? I would say record it. It's one of the cutest things that they do. Wall surfing is no problem. That's not like a health issue or anything like that. Leopard geckos are just naturally pretty explorative creatures. Like, they like to explore their environment. They will climb if you let them climb. They will dig if you let them dig. They will burrow if you let them burrow. And so when they're wall surfing, they're literally just testing the boundaries of their environment. They probably also don't understand why this glass object is see-through, but they can't get through it. What can you do if they're stressed? So UVB and ultraviolet light has been shown in reptiles to reduce stress. So if you can give them UVB, or maybe give them a little bit of like outdoor sunlight. Don't leave them in the sun because the sun might be hotter than you think, but maybe just, you know, walking with them, maybe slightly in the shade. Believe it or not, the shade actually has levels of UV that are usually pretty high still. And you could just leave them alone for a couple days. Like, if you think they're stressed out, you could leave them alone for a couple days. Let their stress levels come down a bit. But leopard geckos are usually pretty good. So, like, here's another one right here. You have 11. Nice. Why is the base of the tail skinny, then it flares out? It's because they store nutrients. So, they store nutrients in this tail of theirs, and it becomes a nice, juicy cachet for them. Where they hold fat, protein, nutrients. And that allows them to go long periods of time without food or water because they come from the Middle East, the desert, which is very resource restricted. So they had to evolve and develop the ability to survive on low resources, which is another thing that makes them such a great beginner pet. Is they're great for kids or families with a busy schedule, and they're also great for people that go away or on vacation a lot, because they'll be fine while you're gone. If you're gone for a week or two, you don't even need anyone to come in and like replace the food or water. They'll be perfectly fine. They have all the resources they need in that chunky tail of theirs to last them for months and months and months if they absolutely need to. Does anyone know what to do if they are not active? Yeah, I would say increase their heat. Now, sometimes they're not active because they have like health issues or something. And for that, feel free to reach out to me. My phone number is on my website, my email as well. I'd be happy to take a look at your gecko and see if there's any like health concerns or something like that. But sometimes they go into like a mini hibernation mode where they don't want to eat or move around a lot for a couple weeks out of the year. It also depends on the age of your gecko, whether your gecko's male or female, whether your gecko's housed with other geckos, and then, of course, whether there is enough heat in the enclosure for the gecko to stay active. So, usually when people are struggling with activity levels, I double check the heat first, just to make sure that, like, that is on point. For leopard geckos to be the most active, you typically want them in, like, a 90 to 100 degree hot spot area, and then, like, 80s for their humid hide, and their cool end would be like in the low 80s. Humid hide would be like in the mid 80s, and then the hot side would be like in the 90s. I guess that's an easy way to put it. Cool side, low 80s. The middle of the tank, mid 80s. And then the hot side of the tank, high 80s. I mean, low 90s to 100. You could even go up to 100 for their hot spot. So here's another one. You don't want the humidity in the cage to be boosted. You just want one hide in the cage to be boosted, and I'll show you that with this guy when I'm done here. So I'm going to clean this guy's cage right now, and I'll show you. So here's his humid hide. Here's his humid hide after a week of not being seen. It's dry. And then I'll show you what we do. You don't want to make the entire cage humid. You just want to make one area humid. Yeah, sometimes people just like to hate, you know. So here's how I made the humid hide humid, and now the gecko will be nice. We're gonna give him a little scoop of worms and food. Yeah, this is actually a girl. Let's see if she was ovulating, breeding, but she's not now. So that's why we're putting her back away. This is our dirty tangerine line, where it's like a darker tangerine. And yeah, we ship our geckos nationwide. So anywhere in the United States, you could go to geekygeckocreations.com. Our shipping is only $44.99. Most people's shipping is $55 to $65 at least. So we do have the most competitive shipping on the market. We also have the highest customer satisfaction ratio and also guarantee. I personally guarantee a lot for all of our geckos. So the first guarantee is live arrival, and then the second guarantee is also health of the animal. Like 100% health of the animal. A lot of breeders, once you receive the animal, that's it. It's out of their hands. They will no longer take responsibility for it. But I take responsibility for everything. If the animal doesn't acclimate well, stresses out and doesn't make it, or stresses out and gets sick, or whatever the case is, as long as you keep up with me from the start and I know about it as soon as you know about it, I'm more than happy to help you not only restore that gecko, but if that gecko can't be like brought back to health, then I'm happy to refund you or replace the gecko for you even many months later. As long as I know, as long as you've kept up with me, that there was something wrong with the gecko within the first 30 days. Because my number one thing is great geckos for a great price with great customer service. Like, customer service is very important to me. And in my mind, you're buying a healthy gecko. Like, you're buying a gecko that should be healthy. And if for whatever reason it stresses out during shipping, or gets sick during shipping, or whatever the case is, I cover that for you. I take full responsibility for that. Now, we never send out a gecko that we have concerns with, but through the shipping process, sometimes things can and will happen. And we like to let our customers know that we got your back 100%. Look at the cool head markings on that one. Isn't that dope? Do you still have the black one, the Midnight? Yes, we do have a lot of black ones. So we have some on our website, Geeky Gecko Creations. We have like a lot of 50% Black Knights on there, and then we got some 100% Black Knight males on there. And males are pretty rare. They're not so easy to come by, which is why they're priced a little higher. And the males are actually a little older now. And we have what's called shop pay on our website, which means that you could pay by credit card over time. So you could set up a payment structure where you only pay like $100 a month for like 12 months, but you could still get your gecko now. Isn't that really cool? So for more expensive purchases, the Shopify Pay payment structure is the way to go, 100%. Because you could get your animal now, but pay for it later. 1 month at a time. It's pretty awesome. I've used it myself to buy like really expensive animals that I didn't like have the money for all at once or something. Yeah, if you have a female 100% Black Knight, some of the males that we got, if you're looking to breed or make more Black Knights, the males that we have on our website are super amazing for that. This little girl's a chunky monkey. We're not going to give her too much food. You don't want your geckos too chunky going into breeding season. Ooh, this one's really nice. Check this out. Very faded, very light yellow coloration. Are females or males easier? You know, a lot of people have asked me that question, and I used to say they're exactly the same. But then I started thinking about it more. Females tend to go into ovulation once a year. And if you get a young female in her first year, she might go off of food. And if she goes off of food, it worries people a lot and they don't know what to do and they start freaking out. With males, you won't have that issue. So, my answer now is males are easier to deal with in the first year of life. But then after that, it doesn't matter. I see you only have 271 followers, so you just hate on people. Oh. Wait, what's going on? What do followers have to do with anything? Why does it matter how many followers he has? I thought I kicked the person that was causing trouble. Is there someone else causing trouble? Because I'm all for free speech, but when people become demeaning or like nasty or just like ruin the ambiance of everybody hanging out and having a good time, that's usually the time that I remove them. Like, I am 100% for free speech. If I do something that you don't like or you don't fully agree with, let's have a conversation about it. I won't talk over you. I will 100% give you your chance to speak your opinion, but let's be courteous about it. Let's be professional about it. And unfortunately, most people who do have a very strong opinion in the opposite direction, they don't know how to control that. Oh, who was? Wait, who was hating? Yeah, so we do have a setup video on our YouTube channel as well that shows you a general way of how to set them up. It's right on the cover of our YouTube page, so super easy to find. You could have two in the tank if they're both females and if they get along. Sometimes females do get along and sometimes females don't get along. I would not put two males together, and I would not put a male and a female together as much as you could avoid it. But if you want to put a male and a female together, a lot of people do that, but you will run the risk of them getting a little bit like territorial or nippy with each other. Which is okay. You know, I mean, different animal species get nippy with each other, right? Dogs, cats, but we still cohab them together. As long as they're not seriously hurting each other. It's just that reptiles tend to be a little bit more individualistic and territorial. So that's what the problem with reptiles is. We do have crocodile geckos, gargoyle geckos, crested geckos, but leopard geckos is like our number one thing. that we're really known for. So I'm so thankful that you're sharing this information. I'm a new gecko owner. Yeah, if you head to geekygeckocreations.com, my phone number's there, my email's there, and I'm always happy to help people. Yes, we have quite a few new morphs that we are releasing. Let's see, Ureopleistisky. Ureopleistisky. Don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we will block and mute and take away his comments from the entire stream. And that's just because if you can't be respectful to like myself or to the other people in the stream, like it's totally okay to have a different opinion. Totally. I'm all for that. But let's have like a respectful civil discussion. You don't need to like be chirping at people in the comments and like yelling at people in the comments. So I removed the Urio guy. So I thank you guys for bringing that to my attention. Yeah, don't get on here and use bad manners. Yeah, definitely. We do have, Adam, we do have a snake room. Actually, I just fed all the snakes right now. So we could actually go and check to see if they ate everything. How does that sound? We'll check to make sure the snakes ate their food, because I am done with geckos for now. And so we'll go check out the snakes and then probably end the live stream after that for tonight. I can't wait till we can go back and view the room. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have all of these new racks that we're building now, and we're actually going to start selling these in Arizona as well. But right now on our website, we're selling the build plans for those. So if you want to make it yourself, you totally can. Yeah, I'll show you one of our giants. We do have quite a few giants. This is a blood emerine radar, so eclipse bell albino. Let's see if we can actually. Nah, he won't open his eye up a little bit. But radars, they have the solid red eyes. So, where are you located? Do you deliver? Oh yeah, if you go to geekygeckocreations.com, we certainly do have ball pythons. We got some blue eye Lucy's on there right now. We got some like normals. We got some blackheads. We got some pastels. Most of them are het puzzle or het clown and het puzzle, because puzzle is like the #1 project that we work. And we do have some visual puzzles on there. Bananas, some het puzzles. So bells really don't like the light. They're a little bit more light sensitive than a Tremper albino, because their eyes are a little bit lighter in coloration. The first gecko's name was not Coco, but I definitely let people name geckos. So like if you want to name a gecko, you certainly could. All right, let's go wash our hands. See, this is the station I was working on. Got the worms right here. Let's put the worms away. If you don't know about keeping mealworms, you can keep them in a refrigerator like this at 45 degrees. And they stay in this like stagnant hibernation state, and you could just pull them out and use them. What kind would you recommend for 5 and up, or is that still too young? And ovulating, wait, sorry, 5 and up, not sure what you mean by that. If you could, maybe I missed your earlier question. What do you do with a female ovulating and not eating? So if you have a female that's ovulating and not eating, if she's getting skinny, you definitely want to make sure she's housed by herself. Because if she's housed with other geckos, that might be contributing to her stressing out and continuing to not eat. So immediately pull her, if she's housed with other geckos, and house her by herself. Then just give her a bowl of mealworms, give her calcium with D3, lightly sprinkled over the mealworms, give her fresh water on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. You could try different food like hornworms, dubia roaches, like cut the heads off and try to touch it to the tip of her nose, see if she'll eat it. And then if things get really, really bad, you could force feed her critical care carnivore, which you could buy off Amazon. But that's a super last case scenario if she starts to get unreasonably skinny. All right, y'all want to go see some ball pythons? Would you recommend a gecko for a 5-year-old kid? 100%. If you're going to get a 5-year-old kid any reptile, a leopard gecko would be the #1 reptile to get. Because they can go for long periods of time. Leopard geckos can go for long periods of time without like food or water. So, you know, people with young kids and families get busy. Sometimes they forget to feed their gecko that week or whatever the case is. And that's perfectly fine for a leopard gecko, especially if you go on vacation and stuff. So we fed all of these guys tonight. Let's see who ate. I don't have a shirt on, so I'm trying not to appear on camera without a shirt. Even though I'm sure for a guy that's no problem. But let me grab my shirt real quick just to be safe. Oh yeah, I forgot I moved the blue-eye Lucies. So you can see we got four of these guys up on the website right now, blue-eye Lucies. Hence the blue eyes right there, why they're called blue-eye Lucies. This guy just ate yesterday. Alright, let's check everyone else. Make sure everyone ate. Oh, this guy's prey item was too big for him, so I'm going to have to... give him a smaller prey item. So, let me throw this away outside real quick. You don't want to see this. Yeah, I knew I should have gave that one a little bit of a smaller prey item. So here is a puzzle, and you can see after they eat, their mouth is a little bit open, but this one actually has, looks like a wood chip stuck in the mouth, which does happen sometimes. And so what I'm going to do is just take the wood chip out. I won't do it on camera. Let me see. Maybe there is no wood chip. Maybe it's just their mouths get really, really open, like right after they eat or try to eat. Their mouths are really stretched. Yeah, no wood chip. He's good. His mouth was just really stretched from eating. So this is a pastel puzzle ball python, and I'm going to give him a smaller prey item, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. So I'm going to mark him with the blue clip, which means I need to refeed that guy. This one has not eaten, but sometimes if you leave it overnight, and for small snakes that's okay if the rat is small, you leave it overnight, they'll eat it overnight. This guy has eaten. This guy definitely will be going on the website very soon. This is a pastel het puzzle, so this guy will just be like, or is it a girl? It's a female. So as a female pastel het puzzle at this age, probably just like $150, maybe $100. If somebody wants her for $100, you let me know. She's yours. You could go to my website, send me an email. Here's another one. This is actually a super pastel. All of these guys just ate, so you can see super big bellies. This is actually a super pastel het puzzle. Also a female. So that one's probably $150 on the website, but streamers special, you guys get it for $100 if you want it. You just let me know. You email me or text me. You just got the #1 gifter badge. Thank you guys. Thank you for your gifts. Let's see. It's been a while since I've been on here. Gava, Kim, appreciate you guys. My cousin built this rack. I built this one. This is going to be the new rack style that we promote, and we're gonna sell the design to this style as well, so you could build this as well. It'll hold heat tape, no problem. Comes with wheels. Very cool. Yeah, my cousin built this one, but the wood is not so good, so we're not gonna do it this style anymore. Cool, this one ate, and this one's a really cool puzzle. We're gonna be keeping this one. You could see the pattern on this one is way more unique. This is like a leopard pastel puzzle. And this is my first pied that I ever produced, so I'm probably going to keep this one. This is banana black pastel pied. Very cool. Did this one get food? No, we need to try to refeed this one. So we'll try to refeed this one tomorrow. This is a super pastel puzzle. Oh, all of these guys just ate. These are little babies. So these are little babies that just hatched. So they'll be available soon too. You can see this one is a super pastel puzzle, little baby. This one's really cool. I was selling this one at first, but now I'm keeping it. It has like these really pink colorations. It's very difficult to tell in this lighting, but it has like these pink tones and these really high white blush markings. So this is a calico yellow belly het puzzle. Here's just a normal het puzzle, so $50. This one's pretty cool and will make a great snake for somebody. This is a black head. Black head. Pastel, maybe. Very cool pattern and stuff. This is also one of my favorites that we produced. Super black pastel, banana, and it just has like these really lavender tones to it. It's really hard to tell with the lighting, I guess. But this was kind of like a last minute impromptu thing. So I was not planning on showing the snakes. But thanks to Adam, we did. This is the het pied sibling to that one. So you could kind of see those lavenders in more of like a striping kind of form. Man, I wish I was in the leopard gecko room. You'd be able to see these pretty cool, but next time. I'm mainly checking to make sure everyone has eaten their meals. This one's pretty cool. This is like a GHI pastel het puzzle. Very cool one. And we have a lot of unique snakes, but I'd say this one takes the mark. Look at that. It has an orange spot and a red spot right there. That is extremely rare. I've never seen anybody else with a red paradox marking. So this one's definitely one to keep. This is another pastel like GHI. The GHI just makes it so that it kind of looks like a witch's potion, like a witch's cauldron or something, right? Het puzzle too, so really cool. So if you go to geekygeckocreations.com, you can see what we currently have on the site. Do your babies eat frozen thawed? No, some of them are pre-killed and then some of them are live. Oh, this one dropped its rat in its water, so I'm going to have to refeed this one. But I need to go toss this outside in the garbage. This one's making its way out. You guys see it down there? Alright, we're going to put just a faulty one in there so he doesn't poop in it. This one's pretty cool. This is a GHI. I would say no pastel. So this is just the GHI. And there was some other stuff in this pairing like fire and stuff. So... that one we're going to have to refeed. So, blue clip. When I mark something with the blue clip, it means we're refeeding that animal. Alright, let's take a look down yonder at the lower row. Nothing too special. This is a pastel, maybe yellow belly. It's got a lot of flaming right there. Pastel yellow belly het puzzle. Little strikey, you can see nipping at me there. I love this look. I just love it. I love the GHI look. Almost looks like bones, right? Bones in a witch's cauldron or something. Put the blue tag on it. Yeah, thanks. Very smart. Do you also have a hognose snake? I do not, but I will be getting into hognoses over the next couple years. They are all special, and that one's pretty too. Hognose snake in the West Virginia. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that hognoses come from America, because that means we'll never run short of a supply, and anytime that we need fresh blood or fresh DNA, we will have it. So this is a super pastel fire het puzzle, possible het clown female. Also really cool. Probably be selling her. So we do have a bunch on the website right now, but these ones I know they're not. And this is a fire het clown. I mean fire het puzzle, possible het clown. I have to double check the possible het clown part, but yeah, fire. Pretty cool. Might even be a fire yellow belly. So, let's count how many we got. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We did not feed this guy. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Out of 25 snakes, we only had 1, 2. And so this one, the food was too big. Otherwise, it would have ate it. And that one, the rat fell in the water. Otherwise, it would have ate it. So that's really good odds, because with feeding snakes, especially ball pythons, the number one concern for people feeding ball pythons is, are they going to eat? Because they could be known to be like like tricky eaters. Why are you charging $2,000 for your snakes? It's just if they're rare, right? Like if a snake is rare or uncommon or not as easy to get, there'll be a little bit more money. So we do have a bunch of blue eye Lucy's on our website as well. What do you put bearded dragon eggs in to hatch them? I personally don't breed bearded dragons. I have a friend out here in Arizona that does breed bearded dragons, and I've seen the way that he does it, and he puts them in sand. So when the female is starting to dig like she wants to bury, he will put her in sand every day until that female lays. Because one day she's just going to dig all the way down to the bottom of that sand bucket and she'll lay her eggs there. So. And then when she lays the eggs, then he will pull the eggs and put them into like vermiculite or perlite. So. Yeah, no new news on that yet, Jarito, but we'll be okay. Like, one of the things that I've been focusing on right now is just our online presence. More social media, more videos, all that kind of stuff. Because I think that's, you know, there's always a silver lining in everything that you go through in life. And so I think the silver lining in like what's going on with us right now, it gives me a chance to like put all of our time, money, resources behind just ourselves, right? And just focusing on ourselves. We're redoing a lot of racks and stuff right now, which is really great because that's very costly, very time consuming. So yeah, thank you, Adam. That's really cool. But yeah, I mean, we love people. We love being able to show off our animals. We also want to have an actual reptile like zoo / facility that people can come to and interact with out here in Arizona. So that's something that we're going to be pushing for in the future as well. So, Chucky, you sent a friendship necklace. That's really nice of you, Chuck. Shout out to Madrid, one of the local reptile people out here in Arizona that we always see in and around the shows, and then also he works for a good buddy of ours. So really, you're getting started in a business and you've got a lot of heart and a lot of energy. Yes. We've been a full-time business now for like 3 years, and I've just been taking all of the profits and just reinvesting it into the business. Growing our inventory, growing our infrastructure, like how many cages we have, the style of cages we have, all that kind of stuff. So, Carlos, did I miss a question of yours? Let's see. Sorry, Carlos, if I missed your question. But yeah, we will be getting into hognoses most likely in the future. More into cresties. But for right now, we breed leopard geckos number 1, tegus, and ball pythons number 2 and number 3. And we are raising up some sailfin dragons, which are a really rare species to work with as well. Well, I just joined, but when you talk, knowledge is power. Yeah, definitely. And that's one of my favorite sayings. You know, there's a lot of people in this hobby that don't want you to educate people properly. But I like to educate people with the full knowledge of people's experiences out there, and then you can choose what you want to do. With your free will, you could take the information that I'm saying, you could take the information that other people are saying and other people's experiences, and you could formulate an opinion for yourself, and you could formulate a desire for yourself. There's a lot of people out there that don't want to educate on certain topics, but I really like to just educate on every topic and then let people make their own decisions. So thank you for all the gifts tonight. I'm probably going to get going right now, but if you want to follow us more to see what we're about, we have a ton of videos up on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, but we're really, really big on YouTube. So I would say if you're looking for like educational stuff, entertaining stuff, YouTube has a lot of long form content that will keep you entertained for a long period of time there. So what do you recommend on breeding my pastel desert ghost? I would breed your pastel desert ghost to like another desert ghost animal. Another pastel would be good, or do some research on like what combinations that you really like that go well with pastel and desert ghost. So if you do a research on YouTube like Desert Ghost Project, you could start to see the different desert ghosts that are out there and what you like. I'm not too heavy into the desert ghost, so I don't know the best combinations for desert ghost, but pastel works really well with desert ghost. So thank you guys for being here. I will see you in the next video. I hope you guys have a good night, a peaceful night's rest. God bless you guys. And if you need anything from me, go to our website, geekygeckocreations.com. My phone number's there. My email's there. Thank you guys for the gifts tonight. You can easily contact me through our website, geekygeckocreations.com, and I'm happy to help. So thanks for sharing a smile and some knowledge. Appreciate you. We appreciate you, Dawn. Thank you so much for everybody who came in here and just had a good time talking reptiles, hanging out with us, showing reptiles. We'll be back. We'll definitely... I've been a little busy with like making rack systems and all that kind of stuff. I need to update our website. So like here's some of the rack systems that I just been busy like building and stuff like that. I need to update our website though as well, and then we'll be back doing more live streams like we were before. So yeah, if you go to geekygeckocreations.com, you can see we have a ball python section there, a leopard gecko section, and then when tegus are in season, we'll have a tegus section and stuff like that. So I thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, have yourselves a geeky gecko great day. Peace. Thank you guys. Love y'all. See you soon.